G'day YouTube, my name's Lance. Welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report. Hot. Yeah, look, I think I've got a screen grab on my phone here and it's 6 o'clock. It's just around 6 o'clock in the morning and we're at 25 degrees at the moment. We're going to get to 35 degrees C today and we currently have 100% humidity with the sun out. So she's going to be a cooker today. Yeah, in the shed here I have little fans set up just to try and keep something going, but I tell you what, it's not hard to lose motivation. Yeah, when you're sitting there and you're bloody sweating, well, look at my shirt already. And yeah, you're sitting there, you're sweating away, and yeah, it's just not the most pleasant. But anyway, we just got to suck it up and keep going, eh? But yeah, I do get a bit less done, I know that for sure. This week, well, later in the week, for the next 3 or 4 days, it's going to be 35, 34 and the same as today roughly. But coming in off the Coral Sea, there's a cyclone forming. It's probably formed already. I haven't had a look this morning on the news. It's probably formed already. It's going to come across the Queensland coast. But then, by all accounts, they're saying it's going to curl down the coast and head down towards Bundaberg, as in, just head south, not to Bundaberg particularly, but what happens is when you get those big rain events, on the southern hemisphere, they all seem to turn clockwise, and because we're near the coast, they just draw the moisture in off the ocean, and boy do you get some rain out of it. So I subscribe to a weather station called Higgins Storm Chasing in Australia here, and they're based in Sunshine Coast area, and they're pretty bang on most of the time. And yeah, every Monday morning they give me as a subscriber. It only costs like $50 a year. It's cheap to have, and they seem reasonably accurate. Well, best of a bad bunch. The Bureau of Meteorology, the government-run show, I see a thing the other day on TV where the farmers were complaining that they were saying for this Christmas here we were going to have an El Nino, no rain at all, so they were destocking cattle because there was a big drought coming. Well, it's completely the opposite. So they're saying, one bloke reckons because he followed their forecasts with the feed and all that, he got out of his cattle early, and he reckons it's probably cost him 100 grand. So he reckons a government-run Bureau of Meteorology couldn't predict a sunrise. But look, the private people seem to get it reasonably right. So coming down the coast this week, starting probably Thursday, in Australia, this Friday, the 26th of January, is a public holiday. It's Australia Day. It's in 1948 when we all become one colony under the British government, I'm not sure the exact wording, but in 1948 it happened on the 26th of January. The Aboriginals and that keep carrying on about Invasion Day and all that, but it was nothing to do with that. It's just they just got that bit wrong. They need to probably have a read. But anyway, that's their thing. I'm happy to have Australia Day. And but on Australia Day, on Thursday, they're saying the rain should start. We should start getting the weather off this cyclone event. And for Bundaberg here, 200 to 300 millimetres, they're saying. So, but out at the moment, I've just been for a little walk around the orchard with the camera, and I know some of the viewers are interested in the property as much as anything else, and so I've just done a 10 or 11 minute walk around the orchard, and I've got a couple of new little avo trees there, and I'm trying to water them up for the heat for the next few days. I'll have to go to work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If the rain comes Thursday, we'll be right, but these little trees that we've planted out in the last month, we've got to keep the moisture up to them until their roots get out and find their own. So you may hear a little humming in the background. That's the pressure pump, and that pump's going to run all day today. The trees out there, with this hot weather, they suffer a bit, so the more water I can put around them, the better. Now with this big rain event coming, that big tank out the back is going to be overflowing, and it comes round the back and it goes through that new carport, but I've got the carport lower from the doorway here because I don't want it in here. And so that's going to be overflowing by the end of the week. So I'm just going to water the orchard, put a lot of water under the bigger trees and things like that, just to try and ward off the effects of the summer heat. My dad, when he was alive, he was a real old gardener, and every night and every morning before he went to work and when he come home, he'd be out with the hose watering. And I don't know how much water he used to go through, but that was his thing. And he used to have the biggest, luscious looking trees because that was his hobby, you know. And he'd be watering, and he'd go away and get someone to water it and look out if they didn't water it properly. Anyway, but yeah, I get pleasure out of the orchard. My shirt's sticking to me. And but yeah, getting ready for this rain, I did all the rider mowing last Wednesday, and a lot of places I had 120 millimetres of growth, and I actually got my tape out and measured just to check, and 120 millimetres, and that was yesterday. I mowed again yesterday afternoon, Sunday, so it is growing weather. And so what I've done, I've done all the rider mowing, and because I've been doing the rider mowing twice a week at the moment, I've got a bloody cobweb on me now from walking around out in the orchard. I shouldn't die. I did the rider mow, and because I've been keeping it low, it's gone from about 4-hour job down to about 2.5-hour, 3-hour job. So I mowed it on Wednesday, I re-mowed on Sunday, and yesterday morning I slashed the entire paddock because if we get this big wet, I've got a couple of wet patches on the paddock and I won't be able to get on to mow for a month after that probably, and should be hard yakka for the old tractor by then. So I'm just prepping. But yeah, yesterday was on mowers and that all day, and the vibration stirs me knees up a bit, so I'm a bit touchy around the knees today, but they should come good. Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. I went and bought some new shoes for my knees, and I can't remember when I bought them, but I bought some runners with a soft sole in them, and you hop on this thing and it measures your feet and your step and all that sort of thing. And athlete's foot, I went to the Foot Motion, they gave me some thongs that stirred them up actually, and athlete's foot, I went to them to have a look, and they've worked out that, this leg that got damaged, I stepped really hard on the left hand side, so we're working with that. So, and that seems to have helped. I've worn those sneakers every day to work last week, and look, I think they're a good thing, that softness. You know, we didn't go for a hiking shoe, went for a runner that's really soft underneath, and it seems to be a good thing, seems to be helping. So we'll see how that goes. More expense last week. My mobile phone's been a Samsung S10, and I use those quad lock cases, so when you jump into the car you can just put them on and away they go, and they automatically charge, charging head. And anyway, I was having trouble. I'd put the cord in and it'd say moisture in the back of the phone, or moisture in your connection, or dirt and debris or something. And I thought, well, it spends a fair bit of time in my pocket. You know, your pocket fluff, probably a bit of that in there, who knows. And so I cleaned it out and buggered around, and it didn't seem to be working. So I thought, right, I'll pull it out of the quad lock case and just give it a good wipe over, good clean up. Well, the back of the whole phone wanted to come off, and so the glue had shit itself over time. And that's probably where the moisture was, in the back of the phone, not in the adapter, but it was giving me a message it wasn't charging. And if I fiddled, and I changed cords and I did all sorts of things, and sometimes I could get it to charge and some not, and I thought, oh, that's up to shit really. So I went and bought a new phone. It's a Samsung S23 Ultra. And I went for the Ultra. God, they're dear though. But I went for the Ultra because of the long battery life. I can't believe how long this battery lasts. Like I can hop out of bed at 4:35 in the morning, and 7 o'clock I'm still on 98, 99%. And having a look at Facebook and things like that. And one tricky little thing it does, it's got a little pen under it, and you press it and it pulls this pen out. You tap the screen and you can start writing a note. and you can have your normal old shitty looking handwriting, and then you can press T for text, and it just pops it up into a, looks like Times New Roman or something like that. I don't know what it is, but it's a nice thing. So you can write a note quickly and pop it to your mate, and you hadn't got to put up with your doctor's scribble. So that's a good thing. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. A bit bigger screen. I'm waiting for all the quad lock stuff to come for it. The new quad lock have a magnetic base, and where you put it on your windscreen mount or your charging mount, instead of putting it on and turning it to lock it in, they've got this really strong magnet there, and it just bang on and it starts charging for you. But the good thing about that is if I've got the gantry here on my toolbox here, and if I want to pop my phone there, I'll just go bang on the side of that toolbox and it'll stay there for me, nice and handy. The camera, I reckon the camera on the thing's better than some of the cameras I've paid big money for. I suppose I'd want to pay big money for these, but the camera seems pretty flash. Yeah, just a little button on the top, and you can set it to 1:1 for Facebook or Instagram, or 16:9 for YouTube, and just quickly, where before you had to go into settings and diddle and doodle. Now that's okay. Yeah, it's working. It's a lot easier to do. So new phone. So I've had to change everything over, and well, you'll all know that that's a pain in the bum on a good day. And one funny thing was with the my Bendigo banking app, I set it up. I could hop in on my computer, I could hop in on my old phone, but it didn't matter what I did, I couldn't get in on my new phone. And it kept saying something's wrong, you know, password's wrong or something, and change your password. So I changed my password. And I could change my password and still get in on my old phone, but not the new one. So I ended up ringing Bendigo Bank, and they said, yeah, you got to ring us. They said, as long as that's on your old phone, we won't let another phone use the app. So I actually had to get them to send me an email, recognise my new phone, and then it wouldn't work on my old phone. But on my logins, my phone is the only thing that it will work on, and then to do it, it has to have my fingerprint, you know, to do it. So I thought that was a pretty good, even though it was a pain in the arse. It took me 3 days to get round to ringing them, because I thought I was smart enough to do it myself. I should have known better. And so, yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Yeah, that they've logged my phone, and my phone's got its own IP address, obviously. And if I log in on my phone with my thumbprint, I can do transactions. If I gave you all my details from my phone account, it wouldn't let you in. Yeah, just incredible. Anyway, I was pleased with that, eventually. Had the shits for a while. And yeah, Caleb, the Sparex rep, he's a good bloke, just a bloody Kiwi, but good bloke. And yeah, his missus was in town, so he dropped in a carton of beer the other day. Bloody crawler, eh? It was our Christmas present. We sent them down some Bundaberg liqueurs and things like that for Christmas. And the Sparex parts arrived last week. Pardon me. Just Friday. Yeah, Friday I ended up getting the kingpin housing and the kingpin and the wheel bearing kits for the Massey 20. So over the next day or two I'm going to try and get to there. I've got to shift that international engine out of the way. The international engine, I've got the fuel tank under and a bit of plumbing done. I had to lift it up, and where I've lifted it up round the head, it's marked the paint a bit, but that's no worries. That'll be all fixed up. But where the pipes are, and I've been polishing a bit of brass, I do brush that on, and I use a mix of the red paint, thinners, and I put hardener in that as well. And you'll find it, you get a real watery mix, and you paint it gently with a paintbrush on, but it goes sticky, goes off because of the hardener really quick. And after 2 or 3 coats, you will swear it was painted on it. It's a really good coating, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. I have been working on the Webster magneto. Now, inside there you can see a new wiring there. I had to put a new wire, even though it was sparking. You know, it was putting out a bit of current. It wasn't what it could have been, so I've cleaned that up. It's a flick magneto, so what happens is the finger comes up and the springs that hold it back, it goes up, and then when the finger goes out, it goes bang. And that quick down motion gives you a bit of spark. And even without the magnet there, I put a voltmeter on it the other day and I'm getting 2 and 3 volts, just flicking it with my hand like that. And I wouldn't be able to flick it as quick. So I thought, I'll just sit the magnet on and see what happened. And I'm bloody sure I read 50 something volts there. I reckon I saw 100 there, but I might have been dreaming. But I'm polishing all the top. Oh, look at that, shiny. And the main base for the igniter, it's over there. I painted that the other day, and I've pulled all the tubes out, all the moving parts. There's a fixed electrode that must be insulated, and you use this mica tubing, and yeah, that's 5/16 ID, but I've had to sit it on the belt sander and slowly bring it down to size just to do it. So I'm hoping to finish that. I was hoping to do that last week, but we just got just busy, and on the mowing, most afternoons you've got something to do, and fiddling with the tank and then jumping on the mower and the whippersnipper and all that sort of stuff. So I'm spending quite a bit more time outside than I normally would. But anyway, all in all, I'm hoping to, over the next couple of days, get something done on that Massey 20 now. Now I've got the parts, no excuses. We've got public holidays coming up, but there might be raining, so I'm gonna try and shuffle all that if we can. On our YouTube channel here, we get around 150, 160. Well, anyway, anywhere from 130,000 to 160,000 views every 28 days. And we're still up around 130, 40. When I'm not putting tractor videos out, it drops down to the 130 if it's just the stews, 130,000 views. The stews, you get about 1,1600 views per stew, I suppose. So that puts 5,000 on it over a month or a bit better. But yeah, for some reason, it did it last year too, around this time of year. The YouTube revenue has dropped $300 and something, just bang, gone. Same number of views. People must just watch different things, or I don't know how it works. But anyway, watch the ads, everyone. I'm going broke. Oh, well, be a long time before I go broke, but anyway. We'll see how we go. Going in to do the wheels, update our wheels this Wednesday. That's always a happy thing. But what we're actually doing too is enduring power of attorney. Like if say one of us has a stroke or something and becomes incapable of looking after our own business. Judy's 60 shortly, and I'm 64 this year. So just time to put these things in place. Hopefully we haven't got to use them, but we'll put all that in place. So off to see the solicitor, have a chat. Just chuck $100 bills across the desk at him. Just keep chucking them. And, you want that done? Yeah, chuck a few more, mate. But anyway, that's how it works. With the stuff that come with the parts the other day is a Massey 135 grill. So I probably should get the grill out. It's not good painting weather, but I need to start the job now. I've got the grill and the headlights need painting, and I've got the silver paint out. But the new grill, I'm actually going to sandblast all the paint off, prime it, prep it, and do all that my way, and then that will last 100 years. Last longer than me, because I won't last 100 years. So anyway, all right, enough waffling on. Like I say, I've done the walk around the orchard. My mate Rocket, he's dropped a few more of those cane bins in. Rocket and Paul, Rocket's Dave, me mate. They've got one done for the club. I'll ask him for a couple of photos and I'll pop them in if I can. And because they didn't get restored here, so I couldn't follow the thing along, and they just use out here for the stripping it and all that sort of thing. So anyway, see how that goes. But look, thanks for dropping by. Stay tuned for the walk around the orchard for those who are interested. There's a bit of a look at what Rocket's been up to out there. And have a good week, everyone. Hopefully, I might have to do next stew with me bloody snorkel on if we get this 300 mil of rain. Yeah, it'd be nice. The dams are slowly filling, but they're not full enough to balance out yet. So if we do get that rain that they suggest, the dams will be full, and that'll give us a really nice start to the 2024 season. So anyway, thanks for dropping by, and yeah, have a good week, everyone. We'll catch you next week. Well, I just thought I'd pop this in. It's not 8 o'clock yet in the morning, and I've just filmed pulling this off the Massey Ferguson 20, so we can fit the kingpin and all that. And look at my shirt. Just dripping, eh? Oh well, sticks to you. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, it's, it's a hot old day in the shed. But anyway, no sooking. I'll go and get the kingpin housing, we'll put it in here, and I'll start filming the assembly. See how we go. You'll probably see little drips everywhere. See ya. Now we've got a couple of cane trailers here. There was a pile of these behind some of the industrial sheds in town, and my mate Davey Recco and Paulie, they went and got them, and they're rebuilding another one. Now in the past they put some stuff here and pulled it apart and that, and everyone was quite interested in it, but they didn't restore them here. They just used my place here to pull them apart and get the steel out, and I put a power point over on the corner of the shed there so they could run grinders and that out here. And yeah, so they're doing that again. These are ones that they've pulled apart with bundles of wood that they can save or use as a template, and they're strapped on there, so if I need to shift them to mow the lawn, they're okay. But yeah, that's those fellas there. Actually, I'll talk to my mate Dave, and I'll ask him, has he got a photo? Can he bring me a photo of the restored one? I'll message one, and I'll try and put it in the stew here. That's another one. I think there's 2 more to come yet. And yeah, what they're having trouble with is some of the steel that goes across there, these little bits there, where they go through the wood, where the moisture's held, sometimes they get the oxy and they heat that nut up there to try and get them out, and these long bars as well. And well, that's a bit of a idea of the state of it. And yeah, sometimes they have to get those rods, and because of the rust in where the wood is, where the moisture's held, yeah, they have to cut and shut and weld and things like that. And that's just on the heap. I got the heap burnt last week, so yeah, they're starting to rebuild again. Boy, she's good wood, that, but I wouldn't go cooking on it. You never know what yeah, you never know what stuff they've put on, like creosote or something like that. But yeah, look, the paddock's looking just lovely at the moment. Big day yesterday on it. Paulie's going to come and whippersnip round my trailer, he reckons. I might try and beat him to it. And on the side of his container there, his little box there, we got some sheets of iron to cover that gap for when the big wet comes. So yeah, place is looking good, but I'm worn out. Well, we're out and about early this morning. The sun's not quite up yet, but it's going to be a bit of a scorcher. So you can see it's not far from coming out through the trees over there. Won't be far away. But yeah, you can see I've mowed the place. I've slashed all of the paddocks. Yeah, that took about 5 hours yesterday to get it all done. At the moment this morning, the reason I'm wandering around is I'm watering the orchard. Now, now there's this little tree here. That one's a Brazilian cherry. The one down there that I'm watering is an avocado. There's a little avo here that we only planted that a couple of weeks ago, and there's another one here. And the little avos, once you plant them out, they struggle for a little bit. And so this morning we've got a big wet coming up this week, but we've got to get them through the hot of the day. So before the sun comes up, I'm out building up the moisture for them. Yeah, just get plenty of moisture down in the ground, so that'll help them through the heat of the day. And also with the rain coming, that they're predicting 200 to 300 millimetres, the tank out the back where we're getting the water, it'll overflow for sure. I've got to clean you can see where I've mowed and I've blown shit the wrong way, and that's a fig. It's just a little dwarf fig Judy come across, and yeah, she had it in a pot up the front, so we've got that in here. The mango trees, this mango tree here, it's a Bowen mango, it's really struggling. You can see new growth. Where are we? You can see the new growth there, so the humidity and that's not bad, but I'll probably put the sprinkler flat out onto that, perhaps this afternoon. They're quite shaded. They're quite shaded underneath them, so you don't have to worry too much. But yeah, in the dry December and that, this one really struggled, and it hadn't quite caught back up yet. Where the other ones, the other mango trees up the back here, you can see they're going really well. This little fellow here, but we didn't have much of a crop this year, but it's going okay. Now this little tree here, this is a mulberry tree, and it's a white mulberry, and there's an old heritage plant at the Nanango post office, the old post office, and our friends bought that house and gave us some cuttings quite a while ago, and in the dry I nearly thought that was buggered too, but look at it go now. Yeah, I probably need to get these little suckers off the bottom, but it's firing nicely. This fella here was a mandarin, but the top of the graft died, so it's gone back to the root stock of a lemon. It always battles this tree, it never seems to do real good. I sprayed them with white oil and a little tiny bit of lawsban in it the other day, and if there's ever going to be aphids on a tree that's on this one, that's a mulberry, and that was just a stick we put in the ground probably 6 months ago, and yeah, it's going great. It's a stick off a mulberry tree we have up the front. Then this fella here's a lemon, and it seems to battle as well. You can see some growth on it, but I was having trouble with citrus leaf mite on it, and so the lawsban and the white oils fixed that. There's nothing there now, so they get on these new little shoots, and you see a little white egg there sometimes for the grub. There's a grub gets on it, and the citrus leaf miner. This fella next door, that's a macadamia nut, and it's got a great crop this year. You can see. Oh, they're hard little turds to see, aren't they, really, on the camera? So there is some down on the ground here that we need to pick up. They say don't let, dogs shouldn't eat them, but old Sansa, she gets one and rolls it round the back of the teeth and chomps her up and has a good time with it. Oh, the sun's just starting to peak. Not peak, come up. That's a guava, and daughter Adele bought that for me, and you can see it's having a good season. You can see the little fruit coming on there, so that's doing okay. That little one there looks like it's got a little bite or something there, but there shouldn't be any pests on that anymore. Now this is a little avocado tree that I bought, and yeah, look, it's loving it. I had to put the you can see down the side there the hares and the kangaroos, they were bloody starting to ring bark the poor thing. So I've put this guard up it, and look at that, it's loving life. This hot humid weather, the avocados seem to enjoy that. And this tree here, we've had this for a few years, but we've only just planted it here. Like, someone gave it to Judy and it was in a pot and it was getting too big for the pot. So yeah, we dug a big hole the other week and put this in, and it's really doing well here. It likes its new, well, it was nearly getting root bound, so it likes its new spot, and it's popping out new leaves. So yeah, it's going nicely. Now, Mum bought me this, and it's got a few little spots on the leaves. It's a Namroy, dwarf Namroy pomelo. So I've never had one of them, not sure. It needs that little sucker taken off the side there. Probably looks like it needs a bit of citrus fertiliser, but I sprayed it the other day as well. Then out through here we've got little self-sown macadamia trees that we've replanted along here. So the macadamias are from Maryborough or Bopple, which is south of us in Bundaberg here. That's their native territory. They used to be called the Bopple nut. Then I believe the people in Hawaii got hold of them and they renamed them the macadamia and did the marketing, and that's what made them so bloody popular. But yeah, you can see it's got nice new shoots. It's enjoying this rain. Well, we haven't had a lot of rain. We've had about 76 millimetres this last week gone, but it's just in a little bit now. And yeah, most afternoons it'd be a little shower. So that's how the macadamias, they split the husk, and then there's your nut. So then you have to open that up, and that's a nut in there, and that'll be a good one. That's rattling. If they're loose in the shell, they seem to be nice. So we've got a few to pick up. This little fella, he's an orange. He's got a few on for. There's a couple of little branches there that might not be able to handle the full thing. This fella here, he's doing the same. He's roaring along. That's another orange. Plenty of fruit. But yeah, I just got to keep the spraying up the citrus leaf miner and those fellas. They love these new shoots. So if I do my job, we have nice leaves like that stay like that in a healthy tree. This little mandarin here, it's got plenty. No, that's the orange, and this is the mandarin next door. I get them mixed up, the tag goes off them and they're gone. We planted these in 2019 and I had to hand water them for the whole year because it didn't bloody rain. The dams went dry, the tanks went dry, but persistence is paying off. And this fella here is a pecan nut, and a nice healthy tree. You know, we look after it, but it's never had a nut on it, no fruit, and I hear that you have to have two of them. So that might be on the cards. We'll put another one in the orchard. This little fella here is a mandarin as well. And this tree here, it must be too close to this big tree there. If you don't water this or keep the moisture up to this dies back really quickly. Yeah, it seems to be quite a touchy tree. And when you look at that tree there, and those 1, 2, 3 down there in the middle, they were all planted at the same time, and so was the one down next to the macadamia and this one here. They're all planted at the same time, but yeah, some are just hardier than others. And that fella next door, that's another, we're not supposed to have these at the moment, they say. It's a Brazilian cherry. They reckon the birds grab the seeds and away they go and spread them. So that's a Brazilian cherry, and they are sour. It's a funny thing, if you get them too green, they are sour as sour. If you let them ripen properly, they get like a mellowy, creamier flavour to them. But yeah, not bad. Tasty. So there you go. I'll turn the camera off. I'll wander down here and shift the sprinkler. And before it gets too hot for the day, I'll go and do the stew.